Hi everybody, this is Jen from Scrapping Posh, and I am here with the ASC Supply Design Team project. That's ASC Supplies on Etsy or AFCCraftSupplies.com. And you use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your total purchase. So in two previous videos we made this big honkin' mini album. It is an 8x8 mini album with a 3-inch spine, and it has lots of tucks and everything here. So just a reminder of what we're using. We are using the Graphic 45 Alice's Tea Party collection. Now this is in lieu of the Alice Stamperia collection that I did on the original 8x8 album. Of course you can use any paper you like, but this does require a lot of paper. Paper pads. I have the 8x8 Alice's Tea Party collection, the 12x12 collector's pack, and the patterns and solids. So this is a total of 32 12x12 papers. There are 24 8x8 papers. I also have the 4x6 journaling cards and the chipboard pieces, the ephemera pieces, and the stickers. So I have a lot of paper here, so don't forget it's going to take some extra. And then we'll use we'll also use some solid colors, so probably a cream color would go nice with this collection, which is the same color, cream color, that I used in the Stamperia Alice. I have fussy cut some of these images out. I did one each of the cards, one each of the cover pages, and one each of the cut apart this page for both the 8x8 and the 12x12. So we are less those pages. Now, before you start anything, pick your cover. Because if you don't, you may use your cover paper. So I'm going to pick my cover, pick my spine, and pick my back, which isn't really that important, but I do want it to match. And then we'll start on our actual matting the inside. I'm not going to decorate the cover yet. You always can, but I like leaving it because that way I know it stays clean. Okay, so let's get started. I picked out my cover and I'm doing some paper piecing, so it's going to look like this. So I use the ephemera. This is the main image from the front page, the signature image, and I fussy cut around that. Ephemera and one of the border strips. So that's going to be my front. That's my back, and there's paper for my spine. So we're going to set this aside so we don't use it for anything else and get going on the inside of the album. So since we're not using the signature page or the full signature page on the front, I'm going to go ahead and use the 8x8 signature page on the inside cover here, kind of just to showcase all of this, all the different images here. And I just had to cut like an 1/8 inch off of this because the page is actually like 8 inches, so I wanted 8x7 and 7/8 to give myself a good little border around. You can peel this washi tape up if you had to put washi tape on there, but it's not necessary. So I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to line this paper up with the outside. You just got to make sure that you can still use the flap there. Okay, and then on this side I decided to pick a pink paper. Sometimes I coordinate, like one page is all one color. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but we're going to just start piecing this together and see how it comes. So this one's just going to be a plain photo mat. So kind of like maybe an introduction to your album here. And I'm not going to distress this one, but I recommend distressing the Stamperia paper if you're using that one. We're going to come back and do all the little details. Right now we're just matting and possibly adding some tuck spots, but as far as the booklets and stuff like that, we'll come back later and add those. Kind of like a step 4, I guess. So this one is just going to be plain cream cardstock. We like to break up all the busy Graphic 45 patterns and Stamperia patterns every once in a while. And then I'm going to use this ephemera piece, which I'm not going to use on the outside here, and we can use it as a tuck spot. So all you do is 3 sides. I'm going to put a little bit at the top too. And then if you only glue that, you can use it as a tuck spot. Hold her down just for a second. Okay, so she should be good now, and just to double check, yep, you can tuck things right underneath there. And so this, I decided that this flap here I want just a little bit longer, so we're just going to add another piece of paper like we did last time. It doesn't really matter how long. You just put a strip of tape along the outside of this one, a strip of tape along the outside of that one, and make sure that they're straight. I don't know why I felt like I needed to do this, but it just seemed like it needed just a little more beef there. Okay, so this ends up being about 3 5/8-ish. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the magnetic closure here. So I have 2 magnets, and ASC Supplies sells the basic gray magnets, so you can go grab those. These are not basic gray magnets. I've had these for a really long time, so I have to tape mine myself. So, super easy way to do magnets. Oh, I need to put my tag on there first. Hang on just a second. So, we need to pick a tag, and I think we'll pick one of the images from the stickers. We can do one of these small ones, or we can do like a big one. Let's look at the image. How about this big one, Time for Tea? So I'm just going to take that sticker off of there, put it on a scrap piece of black paper. There's one, it's perfect size. Line it up at the bottom so there's just a little bit of black showing. Actually, let's go ahead and put the magnet underneath that so you don't have to mat the back. Keep the magnet towards the back here, somewhere around right there, because it's going to stick off the page halfway. Okay, now with that magnet on there, let's stick them down, leaving like an 1/8 inch around it on the bottom, so you only have to cut the other sides. You can always just use it like a square piece of paper, or you can make a tag if you don't want to cut. Okay, so that's pretty Whoops. That is what I need. That's pretty close. It ends up being 3 5/8 by 7 1/8. And that covers up that like piecing together we did. Okay, and then for our magnet, we're just going to put that right in the middle. And I use liquid glue for this. You want it to stick. Just make sure it's straight. And I changed my mind. I think I want to cut this. I don't like the idea as well as I did before. Okay, so there is the magnetic closure, and then an easy way to figure out where your magnet goes over here. I have it stuck to the magnet on this side. I'm just going to put a dot of glue on it, and that's where my magnet needs to go, right where that dot hit. I just peel them off, set them on there, and then use tape to get them to stick. And then we're going to put a piece of paper over this and glue it down, and it's going to be glued down, so it will be fine. Alright, so let's pick out some paper and get it cut for the rest of this area. Okay, so on this page, which is, I should probably, okay, this is where we were. So on the inside here, I'm just going to use this pink. I think that's from the Patterns and Solids. And then I cut another piece of pink for this side here. And use the scallop punch. And then on the inside, I cut this, and I forgot there was a pocket here, so I cut a little short. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use it. I already punched that side, so I got to punch this side. I made sure that my okay, so just line it up as straight as you can. Same with the bottom. And we'll come back and fill all this with tags. But you can do it now if you want. I like using scraps for my tags, so. Okay, and then I'm going to use this border strip here. I think we'll have to use 2 of them. We'll have to use the blue and the pink, which is fine. So a couple of pointers for mini albums if you want to conserve paper. Make your mini album shorter so that it only uses half of, you know, a 6-cent section. A lot of this is used in 7 1/4. I'm not worried about it because I have plenty of paper. This side, I think we're going to do a plain blue. I think I need to trim off just a little bit here. Well, both of these like an 1/8 inch. Let's see how that works. Okay, that is better. I like the check too, but I think it needs to, I think we need to break up that pattern. Oops. And the inside. I want to use this here. So yeah, we'll go with the original side I picked. Okay, now if that is a bit much for you as far as all these patterns go, it's okay because we're going to break it up a little bit by adding this guy here. So this is a 4x6. I cut this to 6 1/4, I think. And I think I'll use the Mad Hatter side. And just line this up on the, all the way to the right side of your paper. And then you're going to score right here next to it. Okay, so you have that. Then you fold it in half and then just trim along this side. And then we're going to put him right here, I think. I don't typically like putting them on this side, but if he, well, we can put a closure on it, so let's move him over a little bit and pick something that he can tuck behind. Put him on there. And then if you want to cut out the, how much you cut is your decision when you're using these. Because if you cut it messed up, I mean, unless it's really messed up, once it's all put together, you're not going to notice. Okay, and we're just going to tape this guy down. Just leave enough room for your little tuck spot. I'll figure out which way this goes. Maybe like that. It goes like that because it's the same as here. Okay. And then you just put glue on half of it. And you don't want to cover like the entire half, just like an 1/8 inch, just to tuck. You don't want it to be a horrible inconvenience to try and take it in and out, but if you don't want to do a tuck spot like that, you can always just put another magnet on it. You just have to make sure that your magnets aren't polar opposites with the one that you have in here, and beware they may stick together. So this gives you a little booklet, a little tuck spot there. So there is the first set of pages. Oops, he has to go under here. Okay, there's that. And then we can always put some stickers and stuff on there if you think it looks too plain. But remember, that's the way that looks, you know, without. So go to the next set of pages. Okay, our next set of pages, we have a big pocket, this little guy here, and this page that we have to finish the structure of. So slowly peel off your adhesive. You wouldn't want to leave it sitting around for more than a couple days. Just because you don't want your adhesive to get too stuck. Okay, and first we're going to do the pocket. And just leave it 1/8 inch around all the sides. When you're matting, if you're going to use a pattern in the back of a pocket, then you just keep your tags plain. If you're going to use something a little more simple, like maybe the checks on the back of this, then you can make your tags like elaborate. Whatever preference you want. As long as it's pleasing to your eye, it will be pleasing to other people's. Okay, and then this one we're going to break this up by just adding a piece of cream cardstock, and you can always add the pattern. There's a cream pattern on the back of the solids and patterns for this, but there's no sense in using up your pattern cardstock for cream if you have cream colored cardstock. And I think I'll add a little character here. Let's do, oh, these little guys are cute. And they fit perfect. So instead of gluing on one side, I'm just going to glue the bottom of these little guys. About halfway down. Give them a little bit of sticky. You can use the chipboard pieces if you want. I don't suggest using the chipboard pieces this close to the spine. You want to keep it as flat as possible there. And of course you can use a sticker if you don't want a fussy cut. And I just have, I think we'll use, let's use this side because I'm going to use plain blue on that big pocket. I don't want too many plain elements. Here we go. And I need to trim just a tiny bit off of here. The paper cutter that I use is the Caterpillar, and I love it. Some people hate it, but I think it's amazing. I've had it for 6 years. I've never had to change the blade, obviously. And you can cut things that big or even smaller off of it, so I completely recommend the Caterpillar. Some people just don't like it. It's in my Amazon store, linked below, if you are interested. As is like everything that you can't get at ASC. Okay, so I want this blue and pink pattern here. And then we're going to finish off the pocket by gluing, or the page by gluing the pocket on. Okay, so you just glue on 3 sides, square it up. And if you're worried about running out of paper, you can always gut the inside of that in the back. I don't like doing that because then it sometimes doesn't slide in and out as well. I think we're just going to keep the front of this plain. Gotta give yourself room for pictures. If you plan on putting pictures in it, if you just want a book full of cool stuff, then you can put whatever you want in there. Alright, and there we go. And this next page here, so we have a big page, a half pocket, and then some flaps. So let's get some mats for those going. Okay, so on this one, we're just going to use this. This is my favorite pattern in the entire collection, so we're going to start with this one. My favorite patterns tend to be the simple ones. And then for this pocket, I think what we'll do is for the lower part of the pocket, we'll put a pattern on it, and then inside the pocket, we'll use a piece of cream. I'll just let me put something colorful inside without making too much of a, without clashing too much, without making it too busy. And just slide that down into the pocket. So make it like a 1/2 inch bigger than this area so you can slide it down into the pocket. And then on the back here, your mats, just keep them about an 1/8 inch smaller than what you're matting. My second favorite pattern, I think, is the hearts. The tone-on-tone hearts. And we'll do another one here. And these 4 flaps are all the same size, so that'll be good to go there. And then I think on the inside of one, we'll do maybe a little band. So on the inside of this one, let's do a cream, and then we'll find one of the cut aparts to put in there. And maybe use like another border sticker just to add some interest. on the Alice Stamperia Alice album. I think I added it here, but on this one I think I'll just put it on this little guy over here, but we'll see. Making this one a plain blue. And then I want to put the check on this one. There. Make sure I put that on right. It's only an 1/8 inch difference. Okay, so I think, let's see, what do we have? We don't have to make a tuck spot. We can make, and then the bunny. Let's do all the small pieces. He's going to be a little fragile because that big clock is sticking out there, not pushed down. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom of that down. You just have to tuck something there. So when we tuck, we have to tuck just right here. And we can always, you can always write something, do some journaling there. Okay. So there is that page set. And let's go ahead and get some mats for these lots of pages. Okay, so for this set of pages, there is green in the collection, and yeah, we're going to use it. It is only in the patterns and solids as far as I can tell. So we have to match the scallop punches with the mats. And this one is going to be a plain green. And then we're going to make this one a cream color. I'm pretty sure that's what I did on the other album too. I don't have it here to compare it to. I've been flipping the video that I made on and off so I could make sure I got it as close as possible. Okay, and then on the backs of these, oops, we're going to use that blue and green again. Okay, now this is where I got the goo on this pocket, so make sure if you mess up like I do, you cut your paper long enough to cover any mistakes that you made. I'm going to use the green check again there. I think can't even tell. And then we're going to do the plain green up here. Now this one you can't slide down into the pocket because that middle piece is there. That's okay. Do you want to punch the corners? And then on the back, we have this, this is about 3 inches here. Again, just cut it about an 1/8 inch smaller than your area, because it's going to vary based on, you know, how you cut, how you fold. And if you have a problem with cutting and folding things straight, just do a dry fit before you try it, because before I got my cutter, I had issues with that. Okay, so I'm going to, I think we'll do, I was only going to put 1 piece of cream in here, or no, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm going to do, these are just flaps, just plain old flaps. Lots of room for pictures. Okay, and then I wasn't going to put cream here, but I changed my mind. It makes this easy that they're all the same size. I only had to measure once and cut 6 times, measure twice. Especially if you're going to cut 6 times. Okay. And then we'll do this one here. On this side. And then on the opposite side, having problems seeing. On the opposite side, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. There we go. Oh, he's too long. He was a different size. Okay. So my other favorite tool, undo. This is also in my Amazon store. It does not ruin your paper. Let that dry and you can stick it right back on. I have a giant jug of this. I have saved entire projects before with it. Did I just cut this the wrong size, or is this just a different size? He is, let's see, 4.5, and he is only 4. He's 4.5 too. How did I mess that up? Oh, I just cut it wrong. Okay, let's try that again. Same paper, same adhesive, the undo, undid, and now it's back on. I may have to put a little bit extra adhesive up here. I think I had enough there. See, I cut this one, I cut wrong too. Okay, so on this one, I sure did. I just cut them wrong. Me talk about measure once, cut 6 times. Okay, so on this one, we'll just do him. Get some color. And then let's do the blue. And then we'll do the cream on the back. And we may add a cut apart or a sticker to this when we go back and add our mats. Okay. Now let's go back to the green for this page. So we'll make we'll just do plain green and then the check. We're going to do the check on the bottom and the plain green on the top. Yeah, we'll do that. So this measures, we'll try 7 1/8. It may be just a little bit too long, by 4 1/4. That was obviously 4 and 1/8, and then yeah, that's good. We'll do 7 1/8 by, we'll do about 3 1/2. And that's going to go up there, and then this little guy here is 2 and 4 1/8, and I think we'll just do that in the regular green. And then this one, you just slip right behind the belly band. And try and line it up with the paper behind the pocket. And then I think we'll get a sticker. I like this one. I think he'll look good there. And instead of using black for the back, let's use a cream. Smaller piece. Okay, now let's cut mats for the next couple pages. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up this page, or this set of pages. This is the waterfall. I had not put these down because I want to mat the page first. So I cut my full mat. And I'm going to use the checkered side. And then each one of these mats needs to go down. And I typically start with the bottom one. And we're just going to center it. Now when you put your waterfall down, if you just line these two up and then close it, you can make sure it's lined up on the sides. That's the best way to do it. If you end up with a gap in between here because your folds aren't exactly straight, just use a permanent marker and color it in. Easiest way to deal with it. I think I cut these at 6.5 by 5.5. If I would have cut them by 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, I could have used the cut aparts, but that's okay. And this one. Okay, and then I just cut some pattern paper. I have a pattern, a solid, a pattern, and a solid, and that's how I'm going to put those on there. On this side, we're going to do a plain pink and then the hearts behind it. You can't see this. Okay. And you can't see because you're doing a black on black, then slide something behind it. There we go. And then on the back of that one, I'm going to use this pink. And then I think we'll go with, yeah, we'll just stay with the pink, I think. Yeah, we'll stay with the pink. Oops. And then on the back of him, I'm going to use this plaid, which I love too. I like it better than the floral pattern. And then on this side, I'll use the cream. It's not the cream cardstock, but it's the cream pattern. Okay, there we go. Alright, and so there is that set of pages, and let's go ahead and get the next set of pages Matt's cut. Okay, onto these pages. We're just going to keep matting, so nothing exciting here for quite some time. Again, just matting, cutting your pages about an 1/8 inch shorter than you need them, or about an 1/8 inch shorter than what you're matting. And then with the belly band here, again we scallop the edges. Slide it right underneath the belly band. Alright, and now onto this side. For the large pocket here, I have this blue check. And then we'll use the cream again in the back. The pocket's a little bit smaller than my Okay, and we have this one here, and it has the scallops. We'll do the plain blue. Here. And then the cream again on top with the scallop punch. Right here. Alright, and there is that set of pages done. We have a double pocket, a horizontal pocket, and then we have our fold out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut paper for those and get back to you. Okay, here we go. Carry on with the pockets here. And the only trick to this page is, again, you just slide this down into the pocket so that nothing gets caught on the sides. Okay. Okay, so we're all nearly done here, and a couple more pages we'll do the back cover, and then in the next video we'll do the front cover and all the pockets and tags. And you guys definitely Don't need to watch me do that, but it'll give you an idea if you care to watch. Give you some ideas for different kinds of tags and how to mat them. And then I think we are going to have enough paper to do a smaller album too. So maybe one of the 4x8s. I do really like this pattern. A couple of nice big pages here in the back to do with whatever you want. Lots of room for pictures. Got some extra tape. And this side we're going to put this pocket on. This is the flap that we had before. I almost forgot about it. And then, because I forgot about it, I'm going to have to put something over the fold. Typically I could cut this in half and just use it, but that's okay. So I'm going to line this up on the outside of the pocket in the bottom. And we'll use this other tea paper. So which collection do you guys prefer more? The Alice from Stamperia or the Tea Party from Graphic 45? I think I'm leaning towards the Tea Party just because it's more my colors. Black and red are my favorite colors. So you can see why I would like that one better. That album did pop, but it made a heck of an impression. Which this one's going to be nice, but we will add some flair to it when we put the pockets and tags in, so maybe we can make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so there's that little tag. If you want to cover this, I suggest maybe, how about one of these stickers? Flip it over on its side. To cut it. Alrighty. Almost to the last page. I'm going to take out our waterfall stuffs. I'm going to put it to the side, and as I cut this for this, but I don't want it next to that. I think maybe I put that one on backwards than what I originally intended, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back side because I think that'll be just fine. And then we'll find a new paper for that. It can be anything. don't want the green because there wasn't a lot of green. It was like an afterthought almost. I wish it would have tied in just a little bit better. These are my scraps here. Page on. I have to put this on. And make sure that your pocket is up at the top. Where's the pocket? So there's the pocket. That's going to be close. I need another set of magnets. Okay, now let's get our waterfall going. And these were 4x6, so it's perfect for the 4x6 cut aparts. And we're just going to put that right here. And if we cut our paper right, we can use it to help us straighten out our lines. Because this check paper has lines in it. I find it easier to do the waterfalls this way. And line up your flap and straighten it out. Looks like I may have cut these a little crooked, so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about with my marker maybe. So you open it up and you see that black, or you see the paper poking through. Just take a black marker and color it in. It happens. This is textured cardstock, and I think when you score textured cardstock, you got like a 50-50 chance of getting your fold where you want it. That's why I prefer, one of the reasons I prefer smooth cardstock for mini album building. It's not bad. go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put our magnet where it needs to go. So I just put a dot of glue on the magnet, flop them over, and that's where the magnet needs to go. Make sure you get the polarity right. I use score tape. Okay, double check. We're good to go. Okay, so we have that. Let's go ahead and mat our little pocket here. And I have this thumb punch, but you can use a hole punch too, and you just go through the top layer if you can. If not, you can go through both layers, doesn't matter. Try and get it in the middle. And if you didn't know, punches have little notches at the halfway mark to guide you on how deep to punch something. My dog just came in. We're almost done, Nova. Give me a minute. Lay down. Okay, and then we have a little piece of paper for this side. And then a 6-inch piece of paper for this side. And now we get to use all the 4x6 journaling cards, which is fun. I have a whole bunch of journaling cards left over from the other Alice collection that I wish I could have used. Okay, so we have to look to see which one fits best. 1, 2, 3, and this one probably, and then we'll turn these over. So I have that. That looks kind of funny. I have this one. That covers her face. I may just have to use the let's just go ahead and use the plain one. So we'll do the plain one, and then we'll do 2 pictures, plain and 2 pictures. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down, and we're going to wrap this one up. This is like the matting and finishing the assembly of this album. The next video will be the cover, the back, some decorations, and doing the mats and folders and stuff to go into the pockets. So if you would like to see that, just stay tuned for the next video. If you comment, like, and subscribe, that helps me out to get my channel out there just a little bit more and give absolutely free tutorials to everybody who wants to learn how to make a mini album. And hit the bell notification so you know when I post next, Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchases. And grab all your Alice paper. And I appreciate all of you for watching. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.